Hello, for those watching in the Hindsight is the Future. Welcome to a Gauntlet Hangouts game. That's what you're watching. The Gauntlet is a community online that focuses on playing cool role playing games with cool people who role play, hence the term role playing games. You can find the Gauntlet at gauntlet-rpg.com. That's where it's kind of like the nexus for all they do, which is a lot. They've got a big podcast network. They write a bunch of blogs. They host a lot of cool games on their Hangouts calendar, which this game it was on, and hopefully will be as cool as it merited being on the Gauntlet calendar. This game specifically is Masks, a new generation, which is teen superheroes powered by the apocalypse. It's about teenagers trying to figure themselves out through the medium of punching bad people who will punch back because that's how superheroes work. Specifically, we're playing the Iron Red Soldiers playset. This is part 3 of an ongoing 4-part session. We are at the penultimate chapter, and things are about to get, more Doctor Doomy, apparently. But we'll get to that in a bit. First, let's introduce our cool cast of players first. So, standard operating procedure for anyone who's been in a game of mine: name, pronouns, and a cool thing you want to shout out on the internet, whether you're involved with it or not. Doesn't matter so long as you think it's cool and shout it out. We'll start reverse order, coming back to our newest. We're gonna end on our newest player here. Let's go reverse order of my screen here. So let's start with Louise.
All right. Let me just lower down my mic over here. I'm Luis. Go by he and him. I'm sorry. Well, the rest of it, I was messing with the image board. It's something cool on the internet, or
yeah, like no, pronouns and something cool on the internet. You want to shout?
Okay, I'm sorry. I was too entertained messing with images. Something cool on the internet. I honestly don't know. You got me on the spot. I didn't realize it was a weekly thing. The Die comic by Kieran Gillen, however you spell his name. It's super cool. I read the 2 issues last night before going to bed, and I'm desperate for more. Look it up. DIE. It's about a group of role-playing gamers who end up inside the game world, and it's terrible.
Yeah, I've heard it described as goth Jumanji, which yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Up next,
grown up Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Yeah, no, that is the okay. No, we're not getting into that. That's a chat for another day, because I could chat about it because I have the issue too here. Never mind. Ludo up next.
So I'm Ludo. I go by any pronouns, and I'm gonna talk my own art. And if you like superheroes, I run a site, Heroes of the Republic, where I use superheroes and instead of for modern society, a parallel with 2,000 years ago, because some people get a bit off hand when you call out things very modern. So I usually approach the challenge of multi-ethnic and multicultural societies through that medium.
And I'll say again, if y'all interested in that, whoever's watching this, links down on the description. But last but not least, our guest star for this session, Andy. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Andy. Pronouns he, him, and I guess like the cool thing that I would spotlight is that this weekend I'm going to be involved in the MIT Mystery Hunt, which is like this cool like puzzle solving competition thing event. So I'm not going to be at MIT, but they put a bunch of the puzzles up on the website, and after the hunt's over, you can check it out for yourself and try and solve stuff.
I've heard nothing but wonderfully obtuse things about that entire weekend, so I'll definitely check that out. All right, before we dive into a game, again, we'll lay out the safety tools we have for this because as it's a standard for the Gauntlet that keep their role-playing environment safe and comfortable, because we're here to enjoy ourselves first and foremost. If we were here to explore some sort of ethical dilemmas, I wasn't told about that. So I doubt we were. So first and foremost, we're here to have fun. We're spending our free time doing this and role playing, it's a lot of hours that usually happens. So we have a range of lines and veils. For those who know, lines are things we won't cross, and veils are things that we can occlude. It can happen in the fiction, but we're not going to put them on screen. As I mentioned before, it's on the character keeper. I won't shout them up on broadcast, but it's there specifically. It's for me and for players to like know just like what to skirt around. Given that we're playing with teenagers and it's a superhero comics, well, who knows? Things can get dark. Apparently, did you read comic books in the '90s? Don't. And primarily, we have the X card as well on the table. So basically, if something happens on screen that makes people uncomfortable, they can they can pull up an X on the screen or in the chat or in the roll for a party. There's a dedicated button there, and we roll back to scene. No one gets to ask why the X card is being used. It's just that if it's used, and people should respect that. And also, we have the open table policy here. So basically, what that means is that if for any reason y'all need a break, whether something comes up or you just need to stand up, it's fine. That's fine. You can call a break anytime and can go off, take a break. You can come back, and if you have to go away for the rest of the day, that's fine as well. It's completely understandable. Things happen. We don't know what to expect. And yeah, I think that's to talk about safety. Now for the game. If for those who don't know where we are, I mean it's part 3 of 4, so I won't recap specifically what happens, but I'll introduce our characters. Basic premise: Prospect City, occupied by race of bird people who are technologically advanced. Kind of, most of them are douchebags. We've yet to meet a nice one. Maybe we will. Who knows? They're a multi-varied bird race. Like, there's one that is an eagle. There's one that's a wren. They're called the Tangee, and they've taken over Prospect City. And our characters are resisting against that. Again, let's introduce characters. Like the quick summation of their shtick, so to speak. To their gimmick, and then a cool thing that happened to them in the previous session. Let's start back with Luis. We'll build up to our new superhero there at the end. So we'll start it with our delinquent. Luis, tell us about Turn.
So Turn, civilian name Renato, is well, how do I put it last time? He's basically a magical twink that likes living large and causing shit and stirring trouble. He's got a heart of gold, even though he would never admit it. And he says he's only here so he can beat up bad guys without consequences, but he cares about being a hero just so he can make his friends proud. He doesn't have a big support group. He has a lot of acquaintances because he goes clubbing a lot. If you know the right people, you can get into clubs. There's a drag queen that's been going to clubs since she was 16. And a real drag queen, by the way. I'm not making this up. And that's basically where he's at. He lives with his friend Ash, who's a designer, and who was rescued last time by the valiant efforts of Loki and Freak, who are not here today. Free Freak. And that's basically it. He can teleport, cast illusions, and just be super chill all the time until he snaps.
Also, we found out last session that he's not an Andrew Lloyd Webber fan, apparently.
Oh, yeah. No, he's got very strong opinions about musicals, apparently.
Apparently. That was unexpected. All right, up next, Ludo, tell us about Casey, our scion, or as our hero name is called, Regicide.
So Regicide is the clone of the supervillain Dread Queen, and she rebelled by escaping to Prospect City and trying to live a normal life, carving their own identity. However, things turned south, and she decided that since she cannot avoid having some sort of relationship with her mother, she better settle things down, and she decided to become a superhero that could bring down old beat tyrants and corrupt figures of authority, and ultimately her own mother. And she has been doing relatively well during the occupation. It's like she has the space to become a hero now that there is nobody else. But we gonna see this changing because she's going to meet the overlord of this city state that has negotiations with the aliens, and she has to confront her mother.
That's always fun, confronting adults. I was gonna say like you're much specific. No, it's adults. All right, and I guess it's time to meet our newest hero for this session. Andy, tell us about our beacon.
Yeah, so our beacon is Slipstream, real name Paul, and he kind of had this tipping point when the Tangee occupation started. And so, like, he'd been going to, like, this, one of those knockoff dojos, like American Taekwondo and whatnot. But when the Tangee occupation started, he actually started pursuing training in earnest. And about, like, in the middle of that, this minor phasing started to emerge. And that freaked him out. Like, it's really low level because it's a beacon, but it's like, can get through a wall or something, I think. And his turning point was saving this little kid who had been apprehended by the Tangee. He's like, wait, I should probably be doing this hero thing. So his big thing is that he doesn't like seeing people get hurt, and he's trying to protect as many people as he can.
That's classic beacon there for you. I think you pretty much covered most of the backstory questions then. I think the only thing else to ask is, who outside the team thinks you shouldn't be a superhero?
Yeah, so that's my Aunt Dolores. She was actually there when the Tangee took my parents away, and she's really scared that they're going to come back for me if I keep this up.
I mean, you're gonna repay her trust, right? You're not just gonna go straight into like an island nation or a prison complex has been. Well, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. Why do you try to be a hero?
Yeah, so I've been seeing the Tangee occupation, kind of the effects that it has, and it really burdens me to see all of the people who are suffering because of them. And I'm like, I have to make a difference. It's kind of that initial moment of heroism is what plays in my mind over and over again. It's like, I saved that kid, I can save other people too.
All right. Finally, why do you care about this team?
Because I feel like even if they don't really show it, they're trying to make a difference. And I really value that. It's like these people are actually trying to change things, unlike some of the adults around here.
Yeah. They're definitely getting into it. So like I said, we're not gonna do our team first game together because signs of something bigger, dude. There's an occupation happening right now. Like, and I'll mention it here because I don't think I mentioned to you, Andy. Like, or I mentioned it in the chat in a way that the Tangee are occupying the city specifically because they've said and they firmly believe this. Based on the encounters we've had with the Tangee characters, they definitely believe that they've tracked down some sort of something's going to happen, someone's going to cause it that will unravel space and time, and they've come here to basically root out this superhero. Hence why superheroes have been captured in the initial fight. They've struck a deal with the government, with Mayor McConnell, and basically they have run of the city. there is a big fuck off ship floating on top of Prospect City. It's big, thorny bramble of a ship called the Crown Abundant, and that's where the commander of the Tangee is. It's kind of impregnable at the moment. There's a shield around it and whatnot. So our heroes have kind of been skirting around it, but we'll get into more of that later. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. We'll get to that. So we're not going to do when our team first came together. Instead, we're going to go straight to relationships. So what are your relationships with this other two heroes?
Yeah, so the first relationship, Blank is awesome, and you take every chance you get to hang out with them, and I'm pretty sure that's Turn.
Sure, he's awesome. Well, he is.
Like Turn just is distinctive, and it's just kind of awesome and fun to be around. You know, that's all the delinquents are fun to be around, right?
Are they? Turn.
They got to make up for the shitty attitude somehow.
And then I've got to prove myself to Regicide before I feel like a real hero, because, you know, Regicide is hardcore. You know, especially with that backstory and all. And, you know, whether it's that she's making amends or herself trying to prove herself, like, I recognize that power and that legacy, and I need to prove myself to her.
Interesting.
That's a strange position, because Regicide really tries a lot not to be, you know, overly superhero. And like, dude, come on, you're probably already more of a hero than I am.
All right, we'll get into that in play. We'll see how that comes out. Well, that's fascinating. That's really cool. And the last thing, influence. So how does your beacon's influence work?
Everybody gets influence on me because I'm just excited to be here.
Oh, God. Oh, the optimism of the youth. Okay, so what I'm imagining is this opening scene. I'm just going to hard frame where y'all at, because I think you're on the cusp of getting to Vyortovia. Unless... go on.
It's that I give it to everyone as well on character creation. Should I retroactively give it to Slipstream now?
Yeah, well, let's see. How many did you give out? It was a specific number, right? Or
everyone has influence on me. It's the same deal.
Oh, is it? Okay, so all right. Oh, I see. No, you said give 3 teammates influence over you.
Oh yeah? All right.
Yeah, and you already gave that 3 influence.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. Okay, yeah. So let's say this is kind of at the dock area of Prospect City. The Crown Abundant is looming in the background, and Agent Fumero has kind of called the 3 of you because she knows you're all about to set off. I think Slipstream, this will be kind of your first time. Well, not first time, but like you're going to be on a mission with these other 2. So I kind of want to know what the mood is with each character as they kind of make their way to the docks. Let's start with Turn, because this is kind of... I don't know. Have you dealt with something as big as this, as in infiltrating a foreign nation?
No, not at all. Turn is very low effort. Like, he takes the shittiest hero gigs. It's just the easiest. Teleport into a hostage situation, teleport them out, go home. It's I think he partied all night to celebrate his friends getting released, and to also numb away the feeling of anxiety that he's been feeling about getting involved in this whole big deal that could actually solve the situation. So he's got sunglasses and a heavy feeling on his stomach, and just looks like shit, and has a cup of coffee to go in his hand as he limps toward the docks. I've decided that he's very lazy as well. Like, he teleports as much as he can. It's just a mess.
Of course he does. Casey, how are you feeling? You're about to go home.
Very, very nervous. I mean, she's fidgeting around the big luggage, looking in every direction, twitching, going, can we go fast through this briefing? I want to get this done as fast as possible. I don't like this.
And finally, Slipstream. How are you feeling?
So it's this kind of combination because on the one hand, Turn's around, and Turn is usually really fun to be around. So I'm pretty pumped for that. And this seems like a big deal that we can actually prove ourselves with. So I'm excited for that opportunity. And I'm also really curious because I don't think I've ever interacted with hero name. Regicide. I haven't really interacted with Regicide. I just know about Regicide. So most of my opinion of her is based on reputation. And I'm very curious to find out what she's actually like.
Okay. So the rendezvous point, there's Agent Fumero, who, as we've noted in the previous session, is basically Amy Santiago from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Last session, she was kind of wearing a really crappy disguise, like big wraparound sunglasses and a bonnet. But no, this time, no, she's on her full like agent wear. Like she's got a pantsuit on and she's got a serious look. And she's kind of seeing the three of you, these three teenagers. She might be sending off to their deaths. Who knows? No, that's not gonna. I'll just say up front, that's not gonna happen. Hardship is going to happen, but I don't even know if there's a death mechanic in Masks. Probably not. But
there is in Spiderweb, I think. But...
Oh yeah, Spiderweb has that injury thing where, but that's I think that happened in the because I ran Spiderweb in the previous series. I don't know why I pointed to my back like it's over there. Check out the rest of the YouTube channel. Anyway, so she's kind of looking at you, the three of you, and she just kind of sighs, and you can tell the other two can tell that she's about to go out into another. If we could have sent anyone else, sort of monologue, we could have sent anyone else, but. Unfortunately, what we know of Vyortovia is mostly predicated on, and she looks at Regicide, on what your mother has chosen to reveal to us. So as of now, our whatever remaining intelligence forces we have are trying to find out their best, but you are kind of like our biggest information point, and so you are gonna have to take the lead on this. I keep forgetting to put the team pool. Yeah, and she's looking at you, Regicide, and she's kind of like, "Oh, go on."
Well, I will have no problems going there. I mean, I'm a national, so and my mother should be willing to not cause much problems. I'm not so sure about the other two, so they might come as my minions or disguised as some sort of automata. I mean, my mother, she has all sorts of mechanical servants, and she knows about my abilities, so she would be actually quite proud if she saw me following on her footsteps.
Okay, out of character, that sounds like a fun option. But I will say mechanically, you have options to get passports because, there's three organizations you can rely on for equipment, information, whatnot, and you definitely can. One of them deals with information. They're called Dagger. Cloaks is who Agent Famero is kind of working for. They're Underground Railroad, and Aegis. Obviously, they must have clandestine bullshit like that. So, if you want, you can have had passports arranged. That basically means mechanically I'm ticking a clock, but that could totally happen. Or you, if you want to disguise them, if you think that's more fun, that's up to y'all.
I mean, it depends on what the others find ideas. I mean, could be nice also to be running some kind of infiltration once I get inside, helping them get in. But also that might be the kind of thing that we'll skip over. So maybe that's not a fun idea. So maybe getting the passports is more fun.
What do you all think?
I'm down for an infiltration. I have some capabilities that would actually help me with that, but I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, I'm good with infiltration as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think the infiltration. I mean, even whichever one you go, what I would have done is just throw different obstacles in your way anyway. But like whichever one you all want to go with. So when you say that, Regicide, Agent Ferrero is kind of like, well, we thought that might be the case, and she kind of gestures because you're at the docks, and you're next to this derelict restaurant called Poseidon's Dish. Last month, it got attacked by a bunch of thugs with an RPG. An RPG just shot it right there. A bunch of heroes tried to stop them. Check out issue XXX from down to the YouTube channel. And she's kind of like, we've sent agents to Vyortovia before. We've managed to grab some sort of like derelict equipment, some kind of uniforms there. So if you think if you want to go with this route, that's certainly possible. And she's kind of pointing at the restaurant. That's where she stashed all this stuff. Where like one of the disguises, they're there. So that just really means I'd still take a clock. It's just a different clock from what it ticked.
I also think there's someone else that might help us. And there is another expatriate that...
Oh, you're talking about Socket, right?
Yes, my companion. I don't know where they are hiding, but if I can get a hand on them...
Well, funny enough, Socket, they came to us originally, and because he had been looking up where Vyortovia was, and he's actually already there at the island. So you have an inside man there. He says that he'll meet you where he first gained life. That I don't know what that means. I presume that's something between the two of you.
Yeah, I think I have a very clear idea.
All right. So I think she's kind of like just she's looking at the because Regicide, you're taking the lead. She's kind of looking at the other two of you, and she's kind of like, now I want to make this very clear that the two of you, you're going to follow Regicide's lead. Okay, you're about to go into territory that she knows best, and that neither of you have ever stepped on before. Vyortovia it's a place where things get out of balance wherever it shows up. So the reason why its leader is called the Dread Queen. So I want you all to take her lead and watch out for each other. Do what you need to do. The moment you break out the other superheroes, the rest should follow. And I think she is, well, mechanically she's telling you your place in the world because all adults have influence over y'all. So specifically, she's talking to Slipstream and Turn, not to Regicide. So what she's doing is, oh nope, that's the wrong sheet. When someone with influence over you tells you who you are, how the world works, accept what they say or reject their influence. If you accept, the GM will adjust your labels accordingly. She is pumping your danger down and again your savior up. She wants you all to look out for each other, not to get into scraps. So the two of you, Slipstream, Turn, do you accept that or reject that?
So Slipstream accepts it. He's going to be like, hey, looking out for people is what I do.
Fab. So adjust your labels accordingly. So yeah, your danger is going to be a bit down, but that just means you're going to be a bit more creative and just engaging the threat. So, Turn, what about you? The last time this happened, it kicked off the rest of that session. So I'm just going to remind you of that.
I'm gonna take a back seat on this one. Like, it stirs something in me to have to listen to an adult talking to me things that I already know. But since it's like delegating responsibility to Reg, I'm like, okay, Reg is cool. I'm gonna go with your shit, Fumero. Also, on the player side of things, I need more savior. My savior is so low.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's good to know. All right, so I think she. All right, so how are you gonna get on the island? Whatever it is, she's gonna provide you with the way to get in. I guess again, is it just like a boat or?
Well, a flying boat because it's a floating island. So yeah, so Regicide, she puts her hair down. She's wearing some very mystical robes, some cross between saffron monk's robes and uh, more villainous long sleeve look. Uh, Dressing the role of the royalty that she is expected as, and she's trying to make this stark Tastway position as if she's a love of everything, as trying to hide how conflicted she is. And at the meantime, she is using the communicator to check on the other two as they are hidden in the boat.
And what are the other two dressed at? I'll let them decide, like, if they want to, what kind of minions they want to be. Do they want to be servants, robots, or like henchmen?
I don't know who has the prettiest outfit. Who- who- which one is dressed better, Regicide?
Well, depends. Do you want long flowing clothes? Then probably my sandals or something. But if you want form fitting tight, then probably the cyborg minions, where replace the boring parts with chrome, and all the flesh that is left is the nice muscle tone one.
I think I'm gonna go with the flowy one. I think I don't have enough flowy clothes in my wardrobe. I'm thinking I can save this after the mission and sell this somewhere.
All right. Slipstream, are you dressing the same or?
Yeah, I think I'll probably be likewise. Like this is, I'm willing to give it a go. I'll put it like that.
All right. So I'll let you have one conversation on the boat before we get into like what y'all need to do, because there is a list of stuff. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you kind of like, because again, Iron Red Soldiers runs in a mission structure, and basically there's a goal, and you need like you need to grab as many not requirements, but like as many things to get to that goal as possible. Otherwise, finishing that goal is going to be tough. So the goal here is, I would say, free the superheroes. Yeah, and I've copy pasted a list of stuff. Where did I put them? Oh no, where did I put them? Okay, so here I'm gonna put the list in the chat, and I'll read it out for the broadcast. But if you get as many of those as possible, because they'd be very useful to have in freeing the superheroes. So location of the target, surveillance of the location, knowledge of guard strength and schedule, knowledge of security setup, locks, codes, passwords, transportation to and from target location, a diversion, specialized device to bypass as particular security measure. We might have gotten that in previous session actually, or weapon or weapons necessary to handle particular security measures. Just a reminder, Regicide, you did get that Enigma machine from last week, which probably far more vaguely defined and should have let you have, but you have it now. So.
Also, we took that bird lady hostage. Was she any help?
Oh yeah, I think before you leave, Agent Firm kind of says, "Yeah, we've been talking to the prisoner you got. Her name is Bistok, but that's the most useful." Bistalk. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it Bistalk. Okay.
Yeah, but she kind of just sighs and like, well, we're not. We have her, but she's committed to her cause. She's not going to give us anything, and she wasn't involved in bringing the superheroes to Vyortovia anyway. But then again, that's on her. We don't know if people in the Tangee care about her. They might. I mean, she was involved with ferrying prisoners, but it seems that she was involved with ferrying like ordinary prisoners, not superhero ones. But they're all part of the system. So I would not, and she kind of leans forward to U-turn. I would not be adverse to using her as a threat if you run into Tangee at the island.
Oh, I like the way you're thinking, Melissa. It's a major improvement. I like what the apocalypse is doing to you.
She's not even gonna dignify that for a response. Okay, so that's kind of the list of stuff y'all need to look out for. Again, you can try and feed the superheroes with only like one or two of these. The more you have, the less hard it will be. And she does. And Agent Firmer just says, she's in communication with you if you need extra stuff from Cloak, Dagger, or Aegis. Probably not from Cloak. They're a bit tapped out. They don't have any like safe houses in Vyortovia. But Aegis is Aegis, as neutered as they are, and Dagger has information. It's kind of their information network. Okay, so you're on this boat that's flying. We're just gonna say that's flying, and it's probably gonna be a little while before you get to Vyortovia. You've got the coordinates that Freak sent you before he got captured. So yeah, I've already asked what the mood is like, but like, are y'all talking? Y'all nervous? Or...
I think I'm. Oh,
Go ahead.
I'm probably gonna open with like, just kind of talking with Turn and ask, "Are you really okay with that whole hurting a hostage thing?"
Did you miss the part where she kidnaps people?
Yeah, but we're the heroes. We don't hurt people.
Ask any criminal you see getting dangled upside down on the side of a building. It's not comfortable.
I don't usually see criminals getting dangled upside down.
You haven't been hanging around with Rope Man then. I mean, that guy has an issue. But yeah, I mean, we hurt people all the time. We just don't realize it. I'm just not hypocritical about it. I mean, what's the difference between banging a criminal against the wall so he knocks unconscious and drops his gun, and torturing a bird person a little bit so she gives information about the prisoners?
Turn is dissing some hot tea there.
I mean, I'm not saying we should fry her and serve her with herbs and spices. It's just, look, some feathers, She earned her pain. Is Slipstream just gonna take that as like? I mean, back me up, Reggie. You seen some shit.
Well,
have you had the chance?
Well, I will not go as far, but they pretty much declared war on us when they occupied us. I mean, anything that happens to her, it's the same as any other soldiers in a fight. Don't you think?
I don't really have an immediate response. I just kind of like move to the side of the boat or whatever and just kind of think it all over.
I will say, if you have influence over other PCs, you can do what Agent Romero did, which is tell them their place in the world, and the other PC have to accept or reject it. And poor Slipstream has no influence on anyone, but the two of you have influence on him.
I'm going for it, Andy.
All right. Okay, so what? What label shift are you trying to put on poor Slipstream here?
I'm gonna reverse Fumero's thing. I'm gonna make it more dangerous and less savory.
Oh, do you accept or reject that, Slipstream?
Yeah, I'm going to try to reject that.
All right. So that's a roll, 2d6, no modifiers, just a straight up roll.
All right.
You need the link for the roll for your party again?
Nah, I'm good.
Cool.
Ooh, that's 6.
Oh dear. So on a 6, on a miss, their words hit you hard. You're gonna mark a condition, and yeah, your label is gonna be adjusted.
Nice.
So how are you feeling?
I think just before he turns away, I say, and if you don't toughen up, you're not gonna make it out of this. Being a hero is about making the tough choices.
All right. So you go on.
I think that probably leaves me insecure.
That makes sense. Yeah. Poor thing. To clear insecure, take foolhardy action without talking to your team. Wonder if we should have mentioned as well. We should have mentioned your drives, because that's what the beacon does, and everyone should be aware of what the drives are, so we can hit those. Could you tell the folks your drives?
Yeah. So my drives: punch someone you probably shouldn't, reject someone who tells you you shouldn't be here, take down a threat all on your own, and drive a fantastical vehicle.
Why do I feel like the first two could apply to this scene right now? I don't know why. But
We were very close to that one.
yeah.
I know who is going to be your getaway driver.
Okay, I think. Oh, go on.
And in the case of the action, it's going to be a Final Fantasy exit.
Ooh, could be. We'll see what you find there in the island.
Well,
right.
You have to be aware that we are not dealing with the Tangee. I wish we were dealing with the Tangee. We are going to be in the turf of the Dread Queen. So she is powerful, but her ego is bigger than her power. And whatever she says, and believe me, she'll say a lot. She's always too much. So just go on with it, and whatever you do, if you need to grovel, if you need to beg, that's what she wants. So just do it. And I'm shifting their labels, and I'm rising their mundane and decreasing their superior.
Oh my god, all this influence taking. So the both of them, yes, you are kind of the de facto leader. So yeah, folks, do you accept that or reject it? You're raising which one up again? The mundane? Yeah, and which one's going down?
Superior.
Oh.
I think I'm going to accept that. I'm going to listen because I'm already trying to look up to Regicide. So, and this sounds fairly reasonable.
Oh yeah, mark potential for failing that roll. Turn.
I'm gonna try to reject it. I'm like, you don't know more about dealing with eagles than I do. Okay, I go to drag queen clubs every other night, honey.
Okay.
Don't scare me.
All right, roll. Oh Jesus! Now those are some big ass boxcars there. Where did I keep that?
There's one thing that Turn does well is rejecting others' influence. I didn't even take the proof that that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So on a 10+, you choose to clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down, your choice, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them. You choose two of those.
First of all, I want potential because I'm vying for a move from the Star playbook.
Ooh.
And, yeah. And one of the other options was switching their labels. Was that it?
Your labels.
My labels. All right.
Yeah.
Freak. Yeah, I'm gonna get freakier.
Ooh.
I'm gonna increase my freak. I have to increase one, decrease one, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna decrease my mundane. I'm gonna get colder because of that.
Oh god. I guess
I'm
we're not
going
growing
like,
closer to the team this session.
I'm going like, okay, Reggie, you're cool and all, but I know how to deal with shitty adults. Okay, I think you're just scared of your mommy, and you're trying to push this whole terrifying agenda on us. But she's just an old woman with a country in the sky. I mean, how bad could she be?
Well, she's not that old. She rose to power when she was 8. And yeah, you're right. I'm afraid. That's why I need you guys. I cannot do this on my own. Do you get it, Tech?
Yeah, we gotcha. I just mean, you're gonna freak us out like that. I mean, just chill. It's gonna be fine. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
I guess at least I have the two of you with me. You're right. I got with this alone. Now I have someone on my back.
Yeah, we stacked your deck. You're made. It's gonna be golden.
So speaking of golden, on your flying boat, kind of like the communicator beeps up, and you kind of hear like this clipped electronic voice going, "Unauthorized vehicle, please advise you are being targeted by one of our sky ships and will be blown out of the sky in 30 seconds unless you provide authorization. Please be advised of your imminent demise."
Okay, so Regicide opens the communications. She inputs her old codes. This is the private vessel of Xenia Sevonadared, the second of her name. Do your worst or kneel.
Yeah, I don't need to roll for that because what's going to emerge from the clouds is this ridiculous skyship, this big gleaming kind of gold vessel, and it's kind of like its guns on its port side are all pointed at you, and this electronic voice is kind of like, "Oh, Mistress, sorry, I need to get your last name again. Sorry, Mistress, Mrs. Svetnova Dread, of the second. This is most unexpected. Our dread queen will be pleased to hear that the prodigal heir has returned. Allow us, the skyship. What's the name of the skyship? What's the coolest skyship name? The Queen Elect. There we go. Allow us, the skyship, the Queen Elect, to escort you to Her Majesty's palace. And so you now have the sight of this giant skyship, kind of like turning in deference to your tiny flying boat. And I'm imagining like this panel specifically is Regicide kind of like standing on the brow, being like, "Yeah, that's right." And the two of you in the background going, "Oh fuck." As you're taken to Vyortovia. This is how I'm gonna let you all paint the scene in this because this is a big fuck off floating island, and I want to get a detail from each of you as kind of like, yeah, no, this island is all yours to paint. Slipstream, what do you see when you kind of like emerge through the clouds and you see this floating island?
So I'm kind of picturing like a bunch of these Gothic-esque spires that are just sort of built up around the island. Less so on the edges, but like kind of building up to more structures in the center.
All right, I'll actually leave Regicide for last because they have their very clearest idea of what this place looked like. But Turin, what do you see when you behold Vyortovia?
I'm thinking endless propaganda machine. I'm thinking boomboxes that just play speeches by the Queen all day long, interspersed with nationalist music produced by the government.
For some reason, I'm reminded of that one panel of I don't know what comic it was, but there was it was just a Doctor Doom's castle, and the jukebox was playing "All You Need Is Doom." Doom is all you need. Probably not to that extent, but if Doctor Doom can do it, like, and yeah, Regicide. Tell us, what do we see? What's actually no, tell us about. Yeah, no, go on. What strikes you?
As we are getting close and we approach the main spires, there seems to be some sort of active gate back to our home dimension, and smaller gates that lead who knows where. And you can see as you approach the court petitioners and emissaries from either our home dimensions, from the infernal planes, aliens, all sorts of the people that are coming to pay tribute or negotiate to the Dread Queen.
All right, so I think what's gonna happen is your boat's kind of docked on this platform, and you see, yeah, there are electronic guards all over the place. And when the three of you come near them, they just stand to attention. These like, I think they're kind of like, allow me to paint the scene a bit here. They look like perfect gold cast humans. It's just, they're made of gold, but you can't see the joints. You can't see where the sockets end or whatnot, and their faces are kind of they're reminiscent of kind of like the androids y'all met in the first session, and that their faces are it looks like it shouldn't be tactilely like human, but they are. They mold they when their mouths move and whatnot, it doesn't look off. It looks human, which kind of makes them even more off probably. And they kind of salute you, and there's kind of no one waiting for you. As you imagine kind of like the entrance to the palaces. Yeah, there's all the courtiers or whatnot, and waiting at the entrance of the palace, and you're all standing behind this line, and this kind of the emissary behind you. They're probably wearing this kind of like weird gas mask with like 3 nozzles coming out of it, and they look at you. It's kind of like, here to see the Dread Queen as well. Well, good luck with that. I've been waiting 20 years for an audience. And that line and your position there, probably 20 more from where I was. But yeah, a lot of stuff happened. But before you can settle in for 40 plus years, this voice at the front shouts, "Make way! Make way! The prodigal heir has returned. Make way!" As kind of like a big thumb, like a big shockwave. Not shock, but you can feel like someone slammed something on the ground, and the line of courtiers suddenly kind of has to spread out, leaving the 3 of you kind of like in the middle as they've kind of formed. They kind of broke away, and there's no clear line between you and the entrance of the court. And you notice like the person was doing the calling is this herald who has this big spear. There's someone who's familiar to Regicide, definitely. But the last time you saw them, they were getting up in their business, telling them how their families are threat and whatnot. But now it's this superhero named Infinite Violet, who Regicide is noted as their parents' greatest enemy. But now they're here with and y'all know it's clearly big, shiny gold band around their head as they're going, "Make way." What do y'all do?
Regicide is pretty nervous because she expected to see Infinite Violet here. Because come on, if she's negotiating with the Tangee to get the prisoners, her one condition is that they have to win over Infinite Violet, and they cannot raise any objections to what they do to her. The thing is, she does not expect such complete takeover. So I will say I'm going to try to study her to try to figure out exactly how she's being manipulated, because this will be useful information for later, because I always count an infinite violet to be our biggest asset inside.
Ha, sorry. All right. So you're gonna assess the situation. That is with superior. So roll.
Nine.
Fab. Right. So ask one, and take +1 while acting on the answers.
Just a second, because I closed the folder by mistake. Yes.
No worries.
So what here can I use to break her free?
Here, well, you're in the island. You can use a lot of things, but here specifically now, the best thing you can do is cause a commotion. There's a lot of people here who have been waiting for a long time. But I mean, if you can get to her and break that gold band, yeah, you can totally you can see it there. I think you noticed that it's definitely the craftsmanship that you expect from your mother, that you kind of inherited, and you can probably tell where to break it if you can get to her, which that's kind of like the big. That's where you're gonna go on.
Tak, do you think you can teleport behind the big ship of the guards and take their golden crown?
What? Sorry.
Do you think you can take out the golden crown of the big boss there?
Well, I can try. Why do you need it for? Is it important? Because there's a lot of people here.
I recognize the design. That's a mind control device.
Oh, damn! It looks good. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. What are you? What are you doing? What exactly doing then? Turn to do this.
Let me see.
Are you doing it now or?
Yeah, it's probably unleash your powers, I think, because
Okay.
overcoming an obstacle.
Yeah. Well, lucky you did you bumped up your freak earlier, didn't you?
I did, but it's still a 0. It's
Yeah.
better than-
Yeah, it's better than, well, it is technically nothing, but but nothing is actually better than less than nothing.
All right. Is there any way people could help me? I really like to secure my chances on this.
Let's see. You've not yet engaged a dangerous foe, but you do have a team of 1. We've reset to that. I put the team notation down at the bottom of the character sheet. It's underneath Slipstreams. So you have a team of 1 at the moment. You're not gonna get more until you enter battle.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Does it count as misleading, distracting, or tricking someone? I really.
No, because you're not misleading anyone. You're directly trying to free someone. You know.
Yeah, I got a 9. That's good.
All right. Okay. So you got a choice. You can either mark a condition, or I'll tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
So I'm teleporting behind a big, strong person and removing their crown, right?
Yes. Well, yeah, that's what the Regicide asks you to do.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be able to do this and teleport back with no consequence.
Yes, because if you pick mark a condition.
Yeah. Which
Well,
is
there's
what I'm
going to be
gonna do.
consequences, but
Uh,
things are going to kick off. That's what I'll tell you right now. Things are going to kick off because you are releasing control of the Dread Queen's most hated enemy.
I'm gonna say afraid. I'm gonna say that this is the first time that I'm face to face with a really powerful hero who's out of control, or not hero, but powered person.
Okay. So, all right. Describe how you're doing this then.
I think I'm doing the most obnoxious, like whistling and then casually walking over to a nearby. Are you saying something? Because it's kind of there's sound through.
Oh, sorry. Say that again.
There was sound coming through. I thought you were saying something.
No, that might be an open
I
car.
think it was.
Okay.
It was a glitch. Okay, I think I'm gonna just start whistling, and as when the conversation goes down and the whole crowd is looking at Regicide, and I'll just slip behind a nearby spire, just like la la la, great architecture, very interesting choices, modernism and stuff like that, and then I poof behind her, and then I take the crown and I poof back. And my heart is
So,
just beating so fast after it.
so remind me, what's Infant Violet's abilities? Oh, because all I have here in my notes is just Silver Age hero hates Casey's family.
So her ability is that she can access to the plane of Violet and project it infinitely. So she releases it as concussion force. It's not lasers, it's concussion force coming from the Violet plane.
Sure, right. Yeah, concussive, yeah, like Cyclops blades. It's like Cyclops eyes, yeah. Never mind that one panel where he's using it to cut a cake. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so her face was really just placid, hail the queen and whatnot. But when you take off the crown, her face kind of slides into a lot of different expressions, from confusion to annoyance to just sheer purple rage. As her eye, you didn't know this could happen. Her eyes could start beaming purple fire, or maybe that's just your imagination. As she kind of she looks at the staff she's holding, and then then she just turns around at the hall and just yells, "Sania!" As basically she sends out a big wave of purple energy. This kind of clears out kind of most of the courtiers, and the rest of them kind of run off and then run off to the other portals as she kind of unleashes big, massive fuck off energy field that's kind of cracking through the door in front of you. you hear Nozzle Guy go, "Damn it! I was waiting for 20 years!" as he jumps off to a dimension portal. So kind of like this area is now in disarray. The three of you are just standing there as Infant Violet is kind of waving this purple energy at the door, trying to break it down. I think you're kind of in an open area, or at least an open area, and if you turn around, you see that skyship, the Queen Elect, coming down and about to come down and get near the three of you. What do you do?
Let's get clear. Let's exploit this opportunity. Let's try to meet up with Socket. Quick, guys.
Yeah, let's do it. I've had enough of this gig, and I start checking off my flowing clothes and revealing that I'm wearing my hero outfit beneath it.
You don't have to tell me to run.
well, Slipstream, I assume you brought your hero uniform with you as well. You just don't have it on underneath as well.
Yeah, like I probably have to put on, like, most of it I probably was wearing, but I have to like put on the coat because I've got like this long coat that I wear over the rest of my outfit. It's like a long blue coat.
Okay, I think I'll let you clear. I think there's a pretty big distraction, but you see shooting out of the sky ship. Actually, I'll let Slipstream describe. You must know heroes in Prospect City. You must have looked up to some of them. One of them is barreling towards Infinite Violet right now. Can you tell me what superhero, who this superhero is?
Yeah, this superhero is Magma Blast, just sort of a Bronze Age superhero who has energy manipulation. So generally uses it for like fire and has like the signature move called the Molten Fist.
Well, that Molten Fist is about to barrel on to Infinite Violet, just as y'all kind of abscond from the area, and I think you hear the clash as kind of that's kind of like you're leaving and going off to Vyortovia proper. You do see like clashes of Violet and Magma as they're kind of wrecking apart the entrance of this palace, where the queen is curiously unmoved as to what's happening, but yeah, I think the three of you will get off scot-free because I'm not interested in throwing obstacles at you at the moment. I'd like to be honest. Yeah, I think we've been here for an hour. Let's take a 5-minute break and we'll regroup and see where the three of you are headed off. Yeah, so be back here in 5 minutes. BRB. I forgot to make up an excuse for why Loki's not here. He's helping out Dagger. There we go. He's into science stuff. I'll ask Robert what he's been doing next session. All right, just waiting for Louise.
I'm here. I'm just off camera because my connection.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so let's abstract a bit and say you made it to like a residential area for Tuvia. Maybe into like a town square even. I like town squares. They tell you a lot about what people are like. Let's paint the scene some more. I want to know what a town square in this weird mystical authoritarian island is like. So when you make it to this town square, Slipstream, what do you see?
So I think the first thing I see is that there's these automatons that look like little kids just kind of running around and laughing and playing. There's just and like we see a few of these as we walk through the streets. It's almost like they're this standard issue creating an atmosphere of lightheartedness.
That's, oh my god, that's messed up. Oh my god. Turn, what do you see in this town square? Oh dear. Well, I guess he was so freaked out by that suggestion that he left. Well, there you go. We'll ask him when Luis gets back. Yeah, Regicide. What do you see? Reminds you of home a bit, I guess.
So, in the big center of the plaza, you see this towering rotating cylinder that is projecting holograms, and it's showing the devastation that the war between meta-humans has caused in my home dimension. And it has a memorial projecting image and mementos and names and genetic code of those that died protecting our nation state.
God, this space is messed up. Turn, what do you see at this town square?
So we have my connection dropped in the middle of it. We have like weird robot children and folk people who died for the nation. Is that it? I think we see like a surprisingly beautiful ornament, like a big fountain or something that has like golden water and stuff like that. Just like that very, like, forget you're in a bleak floating island ruled by the dictator and look at this pretty thing that I made.
Yeah, the children probably fulfill that same function. Look, we have normality here. We can make our own children. Well, we technically do, but yeah. So I think, and you mentioned propaganda as well, being blared out all around. I think in between the lame Beatles rip-off covers, inserting Sania's name in there. Did you hear bulletins of kind of like the fall, what happened at the palace? You hear. You hear a pronouncement again, that smooth electronic voice. Oh my god, Killer Queen. That this electronic voice just going. Sorry, I have to keep looking at your last name. Sania Svetnova Dread II has returned and is a fugitive on our island. And kind of see on the holograms like your face. Not the face of your minions, but just your face. And they put on ABBs are be on the lookout. And also, a second ABB comes out after like we've all wandered around. That be on the lookout for Infinite Violet. And put up her face, who has escaped apparently. So I think because the clashes happen, and then you see like a streak of violet shoot out into the sky. Not sure what that is. That could be her shooting off to the sky. Or that could be her just shooting something in the sky. But all you know is that she's escaped as well. So we're at this town square. What are you all doing?
I'm trying to deduce correctly where Socket wanted me to meet.
I want to know like how all the other two are like kind of doing. You also have the device thing.
I have, as part of my extra, whenever I try to find someone which I crave the respect, I can roll Savior to try to find the.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, I want to get to that. I just want to know what everyone else is like. What they're thinking. As
I'm looking around trying to get an idea of how this place is set up and where the prisons might be that we're looking for.
I think. Are you just looking around, or are you like assessing something, or?
I think I'm gonna wait to like hardcore look into stuff until we've met up with Socket.
Okay.
Or not, fingers crossed.
We'll see. Yeah, it's dependent on the roll, so we'll see. How about you'll find them, but the roll determines how well they're doing. Turn. So you think you still have the sexy mind control Corona? I guess. Don't call it that.
Yeah. This is gonna be fun.
What do you mean? What's gonna be fun? What are you gonna?
You don't give a delinquent a toy. You should know better.
Oh Jesus! Well,
I have a mind control crown.
That's just something you have.
I'm just looking at it. I'm like poking at it. I'm trying to understand what it does.
We mentioned that you were like the one magic person in a team of brainy, smart people in the previous session. So
yeah,
if only the brain was here, you could have figured this out. Oh well.
Is it purely tech? Do I sense magic at all from it?
The thing is, it's a solid gold band. You can't tell if it's tech, but you know, you've got magic in it. You know what magic smells like. I think you can sense that, you know, there's a whiff. So yeah, I can definitely some sort of weird magic techno fusion. I mean, you want to tamper with it, you tell me what you want to do, but it's something you have anyway. But yeah, do you want to go? You want to go find Socket now? Yeah. Okay. So this is up to Regicide. You have to roll plus Savior.
Oh, 6.
I think I'm very willing to help.
Okay, all right. So
let's not get that.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. How are you helping?
So I've kind of got this thing where like I'm really good at just sort of looking around and keeping an eye on things and like running ahead, staying quiet, and just like, well, you know, I have the move straight up creeping. So it kind of informs part of this characterization. It's like I totally like snoop on stuff. So I'm probably able to like give at least one bit of advanced warning. You know, maybe we miss a patrol or something because I had an eye out.
Yeah. All right. So that's that team spent. Brings you up to a 7. On a 7 to 9, they're juggling their own problems. May not have time for you. We'll see. I think you know where to meet anyway with Socket. You got that message through Agent Fumero. Where is this place? Actually, no, gone.
Okay. As you go beyond the spires, you go down and down into the maintenance, the heavy machineries that keep the city functional. And if you go below, then you have all the automatic systems which socket was to be one of the many eyes shackled to it, keeping everything in order. And deep within, where I found the drone which hosts them now, there are buildings and buildings and buildings of citizens of Vyortovia that are cryopreserved to be released when the Dread Queen completes her conquest of this dimension, that they can take their place as the heralds of a new age of the perfect utopia for the guidance of Vyortovia.
God, I just remembered your character is going to school next month.
Hey, can you imagine parents teacher meeting?
Oh my God. Let's see. That's for next time. Okay, so you're kind of the three of you are going through down these corridors. Yeah, you go past these cryopods full of people. I think, thanks to Slipstream, you've managed to slip through some of the patrols. And yeah, I think the place where you met Socket, he's kind of there, as in like almost exactly like where you first saw him, just kind of like sitting there. It's you described him as they're controlling a tiny Vyortovian cleaning droid at the moment. So this cleaning droid kind of perks up when he sees the three of you, but then he sees that there's only three of you, and they kind of their little. I'm imagining they have like a weird like like a Pixar light eye. Their eye kind of droops down a bit and kind of like, are there only three of you?
Well, you've seen how things are. Most of the heroes they are here or mind controlled. We are pretty much what we have.
Then we're just gonna have to do our best with the three of you. I know what you can do, Casey. But what about the other two? What can you do? And he's looking at. Oh, go on.
I think I just poof behind him and then I just grab it. I'm like, well, I can be more polite than you when I'm coming to save someone. That's one thing.
Well, you can afford to be polite, I guess, when you've not had to live your life in fear.
Oh, honey, you don't get to tell me about fear.
Oh, let's not fight over who gets it the worst out of it. This is just gonna go nowhere. He doesn't sound like he's in a fun mood. You poofing around, it's kind of like, oh no, I have a jokester in my midst.
I mean, you're dealing with heroes. There's gonna be at least one jokester.
Yeah. And the eye looks at you, Slipstream. What about you?
Experience tells me there's always something I can do.
That's not an answer, but okay. I guess I know what I'm dealing with then. And I think he looks at Trevian and is like, I assume you're here for the other heroes. Not so much to topple the island of Vyortovia, but to save Prospect City, yes? Well, I can tell you where they are. But getting there is going to be tough, because when the Queen struck her what she calls a treaty with the Tangee, and they gave her superheroes to look after, she decided to put them in the most impregnable place in all of Vyortovia, her quarters. So you're going to have to break into the castle and break into your quarters.
The queen has all the heroes in her room. Your mother knows how to live, Reggie.
Well, she lives like a queen in everything.
Honestly, I I mean, if she's hiring, I'm not saying it's off the table.
So that's where they are, and it's weird. When you listen to Socket, like it sounds like they've taken a blow, which is weird because they're an AI, but it sounds like their voice is pained, and they're kind of like, but you should know that it's more than just where they're being kept. It's also how they're being controlled. Now, I very much doubt the three of you can take off all their headbands all at once. So you're going to have to break your mother's control. Now, your mother doesn't do anything in half measures. So where the device controlling these, they're also at the castle. I'm not sure where, but I know it's close to her. Again, she keeps things pretty close to the chest. She didn't become queen by being careless. I mean, there are people in Vyortovia who'd be willing to help, but with all these new superhero thralls of your mother, resistance has been hard. I learned that myself recently, trying to take control of their computer systems, but suffice to say, they've beefed up their securities.
Well, perhaps the two of us together can do what we alone cannot even try. If a double attack between my abilities and your intelligence, that worked before.
So, weird thing happens. He laughs and then coughs, which is weird because he's an AI. And it's kind of like, well, we've done things like that before. I'll tell you what I did. Well, a blow has been struck to me, and I'm just not sure what will happen if I try it again. But together, we could definitely try. But it's going to be tricky. I'm just looking at the list of stuff you've all the stuff requirements here. So you have location of the target. You have a diversion, I guess. Infinite Violet's still out there, so they're kind of distracted. I'm going to say Socket counts as a specialized device to bypass a particular security measure, which is the crown things. You're gonna probably need maybe one or two more before I've gone.
So I definitely want to be scoping out this location.
Okay, I think Socket's gonna give you like a way in. That's the other thing he'll give you is that. Oh yeah, and transportation, sweet escape ship. Well, that might pop up, but yeah, I think Socket says, yeah, he'll give you an in as well. That's the most he could do, an in and a way to delete the hypnotic thing because he's kind of wrecked at the moment. And oh my god, you're gonna steal the queen elect. We'll bench that. We'll bench that for later. Yeah. So you're gonna want to scope out this place. I think what Socket also gives you is like more disguises. So instead of like coming in as the dread queen's heir and your minions, I think he gives you like what sort of disguises do you think? Actually, I'll let you all decide that. Slipstream, what sort of disguise lets you into the palace?
So I'm thinking something like, because there's regular humans, right, that live here. So I'm thinking something that's just really unobtrusive that won't get any attention. And I'm pretty sure that between my general snooping and my mild powers, I should be able to get in enough.
Okay. All right. Actually, yeah. Let's roll that. Let's roll straight up creeping. So you can ask these questions, and I'll tell you how you can get in and out of the palace. So let's roll plus mundane.
That is a 10.
Oh wow! All right. So you guys. Yeah,
oh wait,
okay.
no, that's not affected by conditions. Cool.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
because it's a playbook move. So
Nice.
yeah, ask two.
So I'm gonna say what here is not what it seems, and what's my best way out?
Okay, so what here is not what they seem. Oh god, a lot of things. I'd say what's not appears to be is that you've seen kind of the entrance, right, where all the courtiers line up there. I think what's not appears to be is that you notice like the door just doesn't open for anyone. It's so weird. Like I think it's almost like maybe like a full day of preparing for this. Socket has a safe house where you go to hang out with before you get into this. But you notice, yeah, that guy who said he's been waiting for 20 years, he's still there, the exact same spot. You notice all the same people are still there at the exact same spot. It's almost like they're just there for show, as if like either that or no one's really getting in. You need someone special to get in, like being the heir is something special. But yeah, so that's not what it appears to be. Other than that, I think what you can tell is it's weird. You don't see many guards in. I think you can see the inside, but on the outside there's those guards that salute you in, but the inside, yeah, no, actually, no, you can't. You kind of see like yeah, it's fairly empty in there. There's a lot of there's a lot of movement in the entrance, but on the inside, which maybe Sokka tells you this, there's like there's it feels weirdly empty. There's not much movement inside. What's the best way out? Well, you see that big fuck off skyship in the sky? It's a good way out. But it's a bit noticeable, so maybe there's like a smaller craft inside. Because that's the thing as well. You notice there's not like a docking area or a bay of vehicles at the palace, except for this skyship. That's kind of actually. You notice this as well when you look at the skyship. Every now and then, this a skiff comes from the outside and docks at there, and you may all of you recognize it that this is a Tangee skiff, docking with the queen elect every now and then it goes back down to Prospect City presumably. So that's what you find out. Anyway, is anything else you want to do before you commit to this? So I'd say that. Okay, so that's location. That's surveillance. So we got location, surveillance, transportation. Kinda. You don't have it, but you've got it there.
So I turn to Socket and the others. My mother has been, since she was 7, she has been fighting off coups. And she's not the queen now because she's not prepared. She's always knows her redundancy. She might keep the really nice stuff on the palace, but she has her own stashes all over the city. I say we hit them, and whatever she has in backup in case someone took over her nation.
Oh yeah, let's go shopping. I want a big old gun that fires lasers. Let's wreck shit up.
So you're triggering all the best stuff?
All the best stuff. And it's danger.
Oh yeah, danger. Oh yeah, last time you rolled this move, we met a man who really loved Andrew Lloyd Webber.
This movie creates all the best stuff.
All right, roll plus say. Oh, it's a villain. So yeah, roll plus danger.
12.
All right, so on a hit, you find tour intel useful to your situation. So where do you find and what? Oh, where do you find this first?
So on the residential areas, there are a lot of these traditional custom houses, which it's kind of a replica of a village pub that is maintained only by robots, and it tries to play this traditional music uh, from our own dimension, which is completely atrocious. Uh, and it's spread out like one every neighborhood. So in one of these neighborhoods, there is one, and seems to be always closer to renovations. And she seizes control of the machines inside and opens it, and it reveals that it's completely empty inside. And underneath, it has a safe that is biometrically locked to my mother.
All right. So you find the tool or intel useful to your situation. GM will detail. You know what? Turn wanted guns. You want guns? Okay. So it's a small safe, but your mother is good with dimensions. What people find is when you open the safe, there is like a Matrix slash Men in Black level like array of guns that you can just pull out. It's definitely bigger on the inside for sure. And I'll let each of you have a tool that you can describe and tell me what it could do. If you want just a gun that shoots lasers, I'm fine with that. But if you want something neato you want to keep, I'll let you decide that. So you roll a 12. So a laser that shoots gun. Oh, for fuck's sake. I will draw the line on that.
I think that what Slipstream finds is a sort of gauntlet that acts as an energy weapon. This is the sort of thing where it's like you punch somebody with your gun.
All right, I'm down for that.
I actually like having my hands free so I can work my illusions and stuff. So I'll say that I get like I'm thinking like it has a crystal on it, and it's a magical, technological crystal that fires lasers, but it's from my forehead instead of from my hands.
Oh my god.
They're very Sailor Moony.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and most badass unicorn we have yet to meet. Regicide, do you find anything?
So I go specially for something that, because I know that she has perfect domain over magic and perfect domain over technology. So I go for something a bit out of her field. So I get a biological sonic cannon, which is a Cornumbergian creature with multiple eyes and mouths, and it has a long like like um, uh, like the filaments of some shrimps, and this is keeps roiled. But when I force the creature, this snaps like a whip that unleashes a powerful sonic blast.
So you picked up an arcane bloodborne weapon, is what you're saying.
Yes.
God. Yeah, I am bummed that no one said they found a keyblade in that safe. That's off the table now. So it's too late. All right, so let's look at the checklist. You got location, surveillance, transportation, kinda. You have a means. You just have to take it. You got a diversion. Infinite Violet is still out there. And you have weapons now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty good. Unless you people want more. Now, like I say, the more you set up before you get going, the better it'll be. Unless the dice fail you. that could still happen.
As it often
who-
does. Can I get the list again? Because when I reconnected, I lost it.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me actually let's stuff found in Canada. I actually have a list here. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. We can jump into the action now, but I have the list here. All right. Yeah. All right. So I'll just ask then. Well, Socket asks you when you get back on your weapon strip, and he's kind of like, "All right. So what's the play then? Are we just barging in, or how do you want to play it?"
Well, I will digitally ramp up the distraction and just ram in and take over the palace. I think I can at least distract my mother long enough for some heroes to escape.
Are you with? Then Socket kind of looks at you like, "So you're going to meet her then?"
Well, yeah. What do you propose?
I just thought that was something you had feared for a long time.
Well, it's complicated, but she's still my mother. I don't want
Is
to.
she, though?
Well, or sister, or me, depends how you want to put it.
Not my point.
Just, you know what she's like. And this goes for all three of you. Don't let her take control of the situation. Or you'll find that it's very hard to escape once she does. You know, cause havoc. Cause as much chaos as you can. Just once she regains control, it's over for all of you. So run fast, don't look back, and raise hell. He's not trying to influence you. I don't think he's an adult. He's just well, he's an AI.
Well, he is someone
he
that
has-
I respect, so he
Yeah,
can
yeah,
influence
yeah.
me.
He has respect on you. Yeah. Okay, no, that's fine. I think it's enough prep. You've found enough stuff. All right, so let's say it's dawn of the next day. Where do we see each of you? Start with Regicide. Where do we see you?
So we see Regicide with the hoodie walking down the main street as more of the guards start turning towards her. She steps up the pace, removes the hoodie, shows the Kronenberg again mounted on her arm and back, and points it at the main gate and unleashes hell.
All right, before we see the consequences of that, where's Slipstream?
So Slipstream is going to find a place where like the walls of the structure are thin enough that he can actually manage to phase through.
Ooh. All right. Let's see. We'll get to that turn. What are you doing?
I'm doing the Naruto approach to this. I'm just creating a whole bunch of illusions of myself and charging at the castle with all the different angles that are not being covered already by Slipstream and Regicide, while my true self is just mixed in the middle.
Oh my god. All right. So let's start with Regicide. You're unleashing your Sonic Kaboom, yes. All right. Roll plus freak there. And I'll say, actually, you know what? Before we start, you're about to enter fight with a dangerous foe. You're gonna wage war against the Dread Queen. Let's go through the motions of that first. All right. So when you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 to the team pool. So you had 0 because you spent that one. So now back to 2. Who's the leader of the team? I'm assuming that's Regicide, yes? All right. If the leader has influence over every teammate, add another team. Yep. All right. Let me do that. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, what's everyone's purpose?
Gaia Vulcan let loose the dogs of war.
Or in other words, break shit and cause trouble.
I'm actually trying to get heroes out. So
that's different enough from cause havoc. Someone here is trying to be the superhero. Everyone else is gonna act out. I will say, if any team member mistrusts the leader of the team, remove a team. That's a lot of use the word team. Does anyone mistrust anyone?
No, not at all.
Wow. Jeez.
Well, wait. She
Oh.
did say that, oh, it's my mother. That's not trustworthy to me. We're going up a major villain. Don't give me the mother dearest bullcrap. She's the enemy.
All right. So I'm gonna have to remove a team, but the team leader can mark a condition to avoid that.
I'll check if there is a condition that makes sense. Let's see.
Yeah, how are you feeling as you're about to do this?
Oh, I'm super insecure. I'm so insecure. This is way early than I planned to go face to face with her.
All right, so that team's not removed. Your team is still a 3 though. But Daisy wouldn't have gone down to 2. And your team ill prepared or off balance? I don't think so. You've done all the prep you want.
Yeah, we got lasers and weird monsters.
Yeah, you've got crystals with freaking laser beams on them. So, all right. Weird shrimp sonic guns, gauntlets that shoot more lasers. Yeah. Oh no, you punch with lasers. There we go. Oh my god, it's a gauntlet. Oh my god. All right. So, unleash your powers then, Regicide.
$12.
All right. So, describe to me then how your sonic shrimp gun goes. Like, what does it do to the gate?
So I'm displaying IMAL supreme martial abilities and my control over machines. I'm just not aiming at the door. As it gets to the other side of the panel, you see all these massive battery of security robots apparatus prepared behind, and then we just see the door blowing, and I'm hitting exactly where all the mechanical apparatus is. So blowing all these turrets that were behind, and while all these debris is falling down, I'm running at high speed. I'm jumping on top of debris, and I'm reloading and aiming down at any sort of resistance on the main wall.
Jesus. All right, let's cut to Slipstream. I do want this to be a roll just so I know where you end up. Because you can phase anywhere, but this isn't about whether you do it or not. This is about where you might end up. So I think this is another unleashing your powers because you're trying to overcome an obstacle.
Cool. This is gonna be fun. That is a 7 because I don't. Yeah, insecure is just for rejecting influence, right?
Hold on. Let me check that. Yes.
Okay, so that's a 7.
Okay, so you can mark a condition, or it says the effect is unstable or temporary. That means you are going to be in a safe spot, but not for long. Either that, or you can mark a condition.
I think I'm okay taking the safe spot but not for long.
Okay, so where you end up is um you didn't expect it, but you know, palaces they need commissaries as well. At you end up where the kitchen is, the palace. It's like, but the weird thing is, this kitchen you'd think it's a big one that you could feed a lot of people at once, but once you kind of barge in, you can see that weird enough, it looks like kind of like a regular sort of kitchen, and there is one person there that's kind of hunched over um, lady, a very matronly figure, and she sees you phase in, you in your Zorro outfit and your gauntlet, and she's kind of like, huh. In over 500 years or so, no one's ever thought of going through the kitchen. And you can see that she's about to press an alarm button. And she's kind of like, well, I know you have good intentions, dearie, but I work for the queen. She pays my bills and keeps me, warm and clothed. So
I'm just like, oh crap! I'm gonna like try and just jump across and try and clock her before she gets to the button.
oh my god.
Like full panic mode here.
Oh man, what even move is that? Is that is you're directly engaging a threat, I guess. Yeah, she is a threat to you, I guess.
Yeah, I think it could either be that or unleash powers for my martial arts skills.
Yeah, I think you're overcoming this obstacle, I guess. Because
Okay.
I don't know what blows she can give you back.
Yeah, I'll go with that. So that, oh, that's a 6.
Oh dear. Well, mark potential, and you hit her. What's it like to hit a granny? I don't know. Well, we don't have to describe that. But you're seconds away. But she does manage to press the alarm. Suddenly, you hear, no, what happens is, so you're kind of in this small kitchen. It looks like, typical stainless steel and whatnot. And so it's small. It looks like it's only made to cater to the meals of one person. That's how intimate it kind of is. And when you press the alarm, what happens is kind of like the lights kind of dim, they kind of turn red, and you see on the far wall, away from you, you're nearest to the door. From the far wall, you see guards melting through the wall. Kind of like these two metallic droids melt through the wall, looking at you with their two very human faces, and they pull out hilts that suddenly, I'm gonna make the sound. They suddenly spurt these black fire, and they're coming towards you now. Let's go back to turn. So you are flooding the wall with illusions. Yes.
Oh yeah.
So what are you aiming to do?
I'm aiming to overwhelm the defense system so I can slip in. Like I'm gonna slip in some. I just gotta say clones at this point. Some illusion clones past the wall, and I'm gonna be in the middle of them.
Would you say that that's that's their move there? You're misleading, distracting, or tricking like the defenses.
It could be.
Yeah. I mean, accept it. You should accept it because you get to roll superior instead of.
Yeah, that's the best deal for me. I'm doing it.
Go on, roll superior.
Oh, an 8. No wait, yeah, an 8.
Yeah, an 8. So you get 2.
2. Yeah. I get an opportunity. Awesome. And I'm gonna be a team player and say that I confuse them for some time instead of avoiding further entanglement. just so Reggie has an easier way into the palace.
Okay, so your illusions. Tell me what your illusions are like.
They're exactly like me. It's the full Naruto fantasy. It's just like this whole army of turns, clashing against the wall, climbing it, teleporting, jumping to the other side, making mockery of the queen, and flashing their ass at the cameras and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
It's a
Yeah.
mess, a big mess.
All of them want to be the Hokage, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it works out. They're whatever defenses that weren't smashed by Regicide, they were kind of being flooded by your all this. So you get a chance to slip in. Where are you headed?
I'm just gonna stick close to Reggie at this point. I wanna make sure that she does the right thing, or if she's not able to, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so the two of you are, let's say you've kind of beaten back the defenses and you're breaking through the front door, basically. Is that what you were aiming for, Reggie? Reggie, I'm sorry, I'm calling you Reggie now. Thanks a lot,
That's
Luz.
Turns thing. Don't come
Yeah.
for my gig.
Yeah, well, Turn can't talk back to the GM, so there you go. Sorry, no, sorry. So you break through the door, and through the door, this big, long, cavernous like hall, and it's kind of dark, and you can see like the walls are kind of made of spires and spikes and whatnot, so they kind of go up to form this like cathedral sort of shape. And there's a red carpet where you're kind of standing at, and it's very dark. The only lights are on the carpet. You can see kind of like the shadows of the spikes around you. And the carpet is, of course, leading towards the end of the hall, where sitting on the throne is the Dread Queen of Vyortovia, Sinia Svetnova Dread. And she's looking at the two of you. And she's... Now, this is the freaky thing. You notice this as well, Turn. I mean, Regicide already know this. But this queen, she looks exactly like Regicide right there. But she's kind of leaning on the throne, just kind of regarding you, you know, just looking at you. And then just kind of gives you a clap. It's kind of like... yeah, she's giving me a clap. She's just looking at you like, well, what are you gonna do next? Let's skip this Slipstream. You're in this small kitchen. These two guards are coming at you with a fire. The thing, you're near the door. You can abscond if you want to, but they're gonna be chasing after you.
Let's see. I'm gonna try and look around. I want to assess the situation, figure out if I have any good options beyond just running.
Okay. All right. So roll plus which was it? Superior. Yes.
That is a 9.
Get asked one. And take +1 on acting on the answers.
What here can I use to keep them busy while I escape?
You're in the kitchen. Let's say, let's go for the very stereotypical thing. There was a big pot of soup that you're one you just beat up. So you either can throw the soup at them, or you control the old lady at them.
I'll throw the soup at them.
Okay. Let's see. That's not engaging. That's probably... Is that unleashing? I'm not sure. Yeah. Improvised, yeah. Improvised soupery. Yeah, you can take a +1 if you think it's unleashing. Or
cool. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, using your martial arts. Yeah. To throw
just
soup.
kind of like slide along the floor, pop up, and use that momentum to throw the soup at them.
Okay, so roll.
Oh, that's a
Oh, dear.
6.
Oh dear. Yeah, roll potential. What's gonna happen is when you throw the soup at them, you didn't realize it, but the heat from those blades is so high that when you throw the soup, it just dissolves. And they have now closed a distance between them and you. What do you do? As oh yeah, I'm gonna make you take a condition as well.
Okay.
You're just gonna take it. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling afraid. I'm freaking out.
Okay, so these two robots are marching at you. They're not even gonna say anything. They're just like they got their flame swords directly. And I'll give you a chance to escape because I don't want you to get bogged down here. I'm trying to be nice, but but what happened there is you got a condition. So
Yeah, I'm gonna like try and flip back up to my feet and hightail it out of there. Just whatever direction seems first available.
Okay. If only there was a runaway move. Let's see. You know what? Now you've gotten the condition. What's going to happen is they're going to be chasing you as you try to escape. But I'll let you run away because, again, I don't want to keep you trapped here in this kitchen. That's okay. Let's cut back to the other two. So, actually, I'll let you all describe. I've described that the Dread Queen looks exactly like Regicide there. But what else does she kind of? Okay, it's a loaded question to ask Louise. But what's she wearing?
You don't want me to go there. Jesus. Let me look at the color palette for Regicide. I gotta pick this right. So I'm seeing a lot of red and I'm seeing some camel. I'm thinking she's giving us full-on dark sorceress realness from the waist up. It's just like the super fancy black long sleeve blingy outfit with red jewels and stuff like that, and a deep cleavage, and that high neck thing, the high collar. And then she just has these big metal boots and black. How do I say it in English? I don't remember it. Like that stretchy fabric that clings to your body.
Latex?
Yeah, maybe.
Liquor?
Maybe let's just go with black leather pants. Yeah, and she's got her hair up, and it's a really like. She's basically like Elvira, but classy, and her hair is better. It's just like. It looks casual, but you know it took some work. Like she went to her private salon before waiting on the throne for us. She's dressed to impress.
Yeah, and I think and she's giving you a golf clap, and she's like, "I know you are of my own make when you try to make the biggest impression, Sania. You could have just, asked, and I would have thrown open the doors for you. But here you are, trying to get the upper hand, and that's lovely. That tells me that you're on the right track. Now, what can I do for you, you two heroes?"
Why the Tangee?
Because because I because they're easy to manipulate. Have you noticed just how single-minded they are? All they want to do is save the world. And fools like that, they only ever look at one direction. They don't see that they can just be easily led to other directions. And besides, they are so generous. They gave me our greatest enemies just with just a snap of a finger, with just a favor done. So it wasn't really a hard decision to make. You didn't need to ask me that, Sania.
But I need to ask the next thing. Are you behind the time quake?
Now, where's the profit in destroying all of reality? I mean, sure, it's very narcissistic to do, and I'd consider it every now and then, but when you weigh up the options, dearest, when you destroy everything else, all you really have left is yourself. And you don't know what your worth is if you're all alone in existence, I'm not a queen unless I have people looking up to me. You're not a hero unless you have people you have to save. And you're not anybody unless you have someone that you need to run away from. Now, whoever's behind this time quake, I'll let the Tangee solve that. They seem very single-minded. Let heroes solve that, but, they're under lock and key at the moment. So, really, best bet on our bird friends. I'm sure they'll save the world. I don't know what you're doing trying to get in their way, but, I'm sure you've weighed up the options as well.
Yes, I did. And as a good ruler, I would not let something of this importance on the hands of another. You know the Tangee. They are not very competent. They needed to hand to you everything you wanted to get a simple task done of getting the heroes under control.
Oh, yeah, yes. They truly underestimated what we can do, can't we? Can't they? No matter, that's their lot. That's what you have to deal with. Is that all you wanted, heir of mine? Just questions easily answered? You just sent a letter,
No, I was just distracting you. Bye, Mom. And at this point, I point my cannon to the floor, I shoot it down to the ground level, and I throw myself back, hoping that turn will teleport and catch me on the way down.
Okay, all right. So that sounds like you're assisting Turn. So this is actually Turn's role.
Okay.
You're unleashing, I'd say. It's a lot of unleashing.
All right.
Unless, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the best option.
Okay, and
Okay, let's do this.
all right. So, roll, and then Regicide's going to spend a team to add +1 to that roll. Yes.
Thank God you did. It's plus freak, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I got 6 on the dice, and that one is gonna bump me up to 7.
Okay, so you can either mark a condition, or the effect is going to be unstable or temporary.
I'm scared. I'm scared as shit. This was intense. I'm marking afraid.
Okay. All right. So yeah. I almost like the idea that Reggie didn't brief you on this, and she's just like, "Yeah, sonic gun, jump to you."
Yeah,
and you're
like,
teleport.
You crazy bitch, and I teleport down to.
Where are you?
What kind of bullshit education did you give this kid? As I'm going down.
Is this not what you wanted, Turn? Are you not entertained?
I don't like being in risk. I like when other people are in risk.
How long was it? Oh, is this like one of those classic '60s Marvel comic books where they speak like 5 sentences in one in one bubble, one big bubble?
it's a big page. It's just falling down. There's a whole bunch of balloons.
Yeah, this is the bit where Spider-Man's gonna shoot the web and say, "Oh, this is it. This is the most imperfect web shot that I've ever done. I have to make this work." Yeah. Yes, I think that's literally how the moment of truth works. Let's go to Slipstream. As you're running, where are you headed? You kind of got a lay of the land and want to know where you're aiming for.
So at this point, I'm trying to make a beeline for wherever it is that the heroes are being held.
Which is her quarters.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, you know what, again, let me help you out. As you're running, you suddenly start running at this corridor, and these Black Knights, what they're doing is they're not running after you. It's just that they keep melting out of the wall closer and closer to you as you're running away from them. And like they're not once you're running through this corridor, melt just right behind you as they swing at you. And they keep doing this until you're running up this corridor that's kind of looking out to the sky. There's like windows next to you, looking out to the sky. And suddenly you see, oh, you don't notice this, but I think that as you're running, that kind of like the panel is like looking kind of sideways to you as you're running. And then you just see out in the window this big purple streak of light kind of headed towards your direction. And right in front of you, smashing through the window, this ball of purple energy. And as it fades, there's infinite violet in all her infinite violet glory. And she kind of goes, "Come at me, you dread queen sons of..." Oh, and she sees you. You're muted.
I'm just like, thanks.
Sure, kid. You're a hero, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God, someone's sane finally. You're not being controlled, are you? And she kind of points a finger, and there's a bit of purple fire there.
Oh, I just sort of like poke my head. I'm like, nope, all good.
Ha! All right. You're not affiliated. No, that'd be silly if I asked you. You just lied to me. I'm just gonna assume you're a hero now, because if you're not, I can blast you out there.
That's a really good point.
All right. So tell me where you headed, kid. Sorry,
I'm trying to get everybody else out.
Yeah, we should. Do you have a name?
Yeah, Slipstream.
I had a friend named Slipstream. Lost them in some dimension to a dimension full of angry sharks. Let's hope that doesn't happen to you.
That's great. It's like this momentary moment of panic.
And I think kind of like she notices that there's not more than 2 guards. There's like an entire array of guards, and she's kind of like, all right, what? And she's kind of like, all right, what can you do?
I punch things, and I walk through walls.
All right, okay, kid, Slipstream. I'm gonna rely on you to free the rest of the heroes. Then I'll take care of this lot. And she points at the guards in the backfire. Can you do that, kid?
Okay.
Oh, they grow up so fast. And she's gonna kind of walk behind you and start basically flooding this corridor with purple energy as you.
You kind of see these thought bubbles. They're like, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure.
Yeah, as let's say, okay, I think I've mentioned this as Palace is just weirdly empty, you know. And that's the thing. I'm triggering the diversion bit because you got Infinite Violet free, and she's kind of diverting kind of all the guards to her location. So I think you make it to what looks like a very important. Well, basically, you make it to what looks like a very important door. It's important because it's shiny and made of very shiny gold spires. And I think, are you gonna try and go in? or what do you do?
Yeah, so like this is sort of the central hub location. Yeah, I'm gonna try and find a good point of entry.
Yeah. So, are you assessing, or are you just gonna open it?
I'm just gonna open it.
Okay. Let's cliffhanger that and get back to the other two before you see what you see. All right. So, where do you teleport? The two of you.
Just the nearest empty room. I think I have like a sense in my power that I never teleport into like a wall or something. I always teleport to the nearest empty space, and that's where I'm going.
Okay, so well, you got you that roll was there, and you marked the conditions. So yeah, you make it to this room. Actually, it's not just any room; it's Reggie's bedroom.
Time for some Monster Hearts bullshit. Why do you have a Backstreet Boys poster? How old are you? Do you not get new music in this country?
Oh God! If only there's a role to turn people on here. Nope, there is not. You can provoke them, but no, that's not the time or place. Not the time or place.
Well, all the magicians are still frozen. They're supposed to be defrosted in 28 years.
And yeah, actually, you know what? Yes, that is when Slipstream burst through the door.
What's that? My connection's being a bitch.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's when you pop up to this bedroom. That's when Slipstream bursts through the door. The three of you are together again.
In Reggie's bedroom. This is such teenager superhero bullshit. I'm like, Slippy, you're alive.
Hi.
Yeah.
Sort of blink.
Why do you smell of onions?
I don't really want to talk about that.
Well, we're inside. Reggie's mother's crazy, and I guess we're okay for now. Should we go find the heroes?
We should get to the command control and disable all the control bracelets. Then we should get out.
That sounds
We
like a
don't have
really
much
good
time.
idea.
Oh yeah, did you bring Socket with you? They're a tiny cleaning droid. Yeah, I think they're powered down at the moment. All right. So are you all headed towards the control area?
Yeah, and Turn's being really skittish about this whole thing. He's very nervous about being here after the stunt that Regicide pulled.
I mean, okay, so I think again, it's almost like Dread Queen is toying with you with these empty hallways. Every now and then you kind of hear a blast in the distance as Infinite Violet is keeping them busy, I guess. And like I think Socket tells you where the control area is, and it's in kind of like it's weird enough, it's at a balcony. And when you get to the balcony, what you see is actually there a docked Tangee ship. It's kind of like this skiff. You've seen these skiffs before. And Socket's kind of like, yeah, she as leverage, she gave the device to the Tangee as kind of like a welcome gift, I guess. And guarding the ship are kind of like two soldiers, two Tangee soldiers. We've described the Tangee as like these bird people, and they'll have different breeds. Like we had a wren one, we had a whatchamacallit, an eagle one. I think these are two vultures, and there's only two of them, which is weird, but you can kind of tell they're not just any ordinary guards because they see the three of you coming your way, coming coming towards you, and they pull out their hands, and they pull out these big long claws as they kind of stand in your way. What do you do?
I mean,
Panic fire, and then I shoot laser at him.
yeah, and then they're suppressing fire. Regicide releases the Cronenberg gun with a snap, and she rushes around, and she dives and tries to drop kick one of them.
Okay, what's Slipstream doing? I want to hear that as well.
I'm gonna try to. I think I'll try and pull a Spider-Man. I'm gonna try and provoke one of them to come after me.
Ooh! All right, let's do it. I want to hear that first. What do you say?
It's like, hey, Bird Brains, miss something?
All right, roll. Roll plus superior.
Wow. One of these days, I'm going to get a good roll.
Oh, dear. Mark potential. Jesus, for only being here for this one session, you're racking up them potential. All right. So their attention is on, well, that's the thing. You shout this, and what actually happens is one of them jumps back and blocks the entrance to the skiff as kind of the other one. I would say what happens is that instead of them rising towards you, one of them has actually fallen back to defensive position, while the other one is presumably getting pasted by lasers. So let's get to that. Turn. You are directly engaging them with your lasers, with your laser crystal. Yes?
Yeah. I was wondering if I could retcon my condition and pick angry instead of afraid.
Okay. Why are you angry?
Because Regicide didn't fill me in on whatever bullshit she was pulling, and I don't like being counted upon.
Okay.
I'm not the reliable one.
And you're not just doing that because you're about to directly engage someone.
Speaking of that, I forgot after that scene. The reason why I did that scene was exactly to try to clear Insecure.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, you can clear Insecure then.
No, I want to do it because I want to try to snap at Slipstream after this, so he can check one of the drives.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll let that happen.
Thank you.
It's gonna be nice, and there are people gonna be like, "No, you should respect the mechanics." No, I'm here to have fun. These straw man commenters. I'm sorry because there is someone actually watching all of this. No, you're not one of them. No, you're grand. I should shout you out at the end of this video. Person watching this. Okay, all right. So you're directly engaging the one vulture Tangee.
Yeah,
So,
I'm like,
yeah.
these goddamn birds every single day.
Roll plus danger then.
Danger. I got a 7.
Cool. So on hit, you're gonna trade blows, and on 7 to 9, you pick one. Resist or avoid. Take something from them. Create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I think this is a pretty safe combat. I'm just gonna avoid getting hit at this point.
Okay, so I think what's happening is, you shoot your crystal lasers at this one, and they were actually they're caught by surprise because they didn't expect freaking laser beams from your forehead. So what happens is they're gonna be knocked back for now, but so that gives kind of like an opportunity for Regicide to get in, but because Slipstream failed that provoke, the other the other Tangee vulture is now on the mouth of the skiff. So I'll remind you, like, once you kind of break the mind control thing, that kind of unleashes all the superheroes at this place. So that's kind of like, this is kind of like, because we're nearly for time, this is kind of like the culminating point. And we had one encounter with the Dread Queen. I think we can save her for later, because I remember Ludo is going to school next month. Well, his character maybe. So yeah, so that's what happened. Your crystal lasers have knocked away for the moment. The one of the bird Tangee, and the other one is still standing in front of the skiff of Regicide. What do you do?
I'm gonna kick that bird butt.
Okay, so it kind of looks at you. It's kind of like, oh really? Well, no, not really, because you let loose your Cronenberg thing. So they're kind of like, it's like that bring it on sort of stance. All right, roll danger. Oh dear.
6, unless I get some team.
Yeah. Who wants to help? Slipstream.
Yeah.
How do you help?
Actually, oh no, we can't get it to a 10. Okay, that's fine. So you are run over the position for me again. I'm just kind of.
You're kind of like the three of you kind of arranged in front of them. The
Right.
one Tangee vulture has been knocked back, and the other, and there's one on the skiff right in front of the skiff entrance.
And we're trying to get that one
Yeah,
off.
we're trying to get in. Yeah, trying to get one off so you can get in.
I think I slide over to the skiff and I start like shaking it.
I'll say now. I say skiff, but it's shaped more like Jabba's sail barge. So
Okay.
there's like a
Well,
roof on the top.
then I like punch it with my punch glove to throw it off balance.
Is this the? Oh no, it's punch someone. You probably should, not something.
Yeah. No, we might get to that one though. We might get.
You might need to use the skiff. Who knows?
That's true.
Yeah. So that brings you up to a 7. So that's a hit. Regicide, pick one.
Take something from them, the skiff. So basically, the way I see it is Regicide goes up to them, and it seems that he's going to attack them. And as they go to attack back, she drops all defenses, takes the hit, and then does not follow up with the punch, and instead dives out of the way and takes over the skiff.
Nice. So I think, so you have control of the skiff, and I think I'm confusing it with the truck from last session. But yeah, there is a kind of inside, there is a kind of roof, and so what happens to the other two once you've taken control? Turn. So what do you do once you have control of the skiff?
I mean, I went to look for the whatever is controlling the heroes. So
I think you know this. You know your mother's make. It's kind of this weird jury rig staff that's kind of embedded on the electronics of the skiff, and it's right there. And the thing is, I'm not even gonna make a roll if you want to just destroy it, because it is right there, and you know how your mother's stuff works.
Yeah, I'll just use my machine controls to cut the electricity, because she always bobby traps everything, and then I snap and break it.
Nice. So what's gonna happen? Well, everything kind of starts to happen. Well, for a moment, you snapped it, and then kind of like the vulture Tangee, the other two notice this, because you're still kind of outside the skip. The vulture Tangee kind of like notice you snapped it, and then suddenly they kind of halt. They kind of retract their claws, and then suddenly kind of fall back. And before you can feel, because the heroes are going to come out at this moment, but before it could happen, there's a screen that pops open at the skiff, and I think maybe the other two kind of can walk in when they see this. On the screen is a face that everyone saw at the start of the occupation because he greeted the entire city when they took over. This is a very big, imposing Tangee general. He has the make of a Philippine eagle, so he's got this big kind of crest, and he's looking at you. And you all know him, although I think in this session, I think only Ludo got the entire monologue. You know him as General Kurian, commander of the Crown Abundant. And he sees the three of you. And he's kind of like, so the Dread Queen got her wish. She got her little conversation with her pet, I see. No matter. You freed the heroes, but we found the one we've been looking for. We found the culprit. And we have only to execute him to save the world. So it does not matter if you bring your armies or your gods to us. It does not matter if you bring all your might against the Crown Abundant. In the end, we would have saved all of existence. We do not ask for vindication. All we need is the continued existence of everything. Judge us however you want. But once we have executed this man you call Freak, then the world is saved. And you'll have no one to thank but us. This is a two-way channel, so if you have anything to say to this boy.
I have a lot to say, but I want to know if we're gonna take this serious monologue to monologue thing, or if I can snap it at this guy.
Do what you want. Do what the character wants. You want to make a joke, sure, but
I think since this is Andy's one and only session, Slipstream should get a chance to speak back to the big bird tyrant.
Oh, I've got something in mind, but go ahead first.
Nah, you take it. I'm just gonna snap at him. So.
No, really, go first.
All right. Let's say, you know what? I've had it with you motherfucking Brennan talking shit. You're not gonna execute our friend. We're gonna get every single one of you. We're gonna put you in a big bucket, and we're gonna pour oil all over you, and you're gonna eat it. We're gonna eat you, and you're gonna feel nice about it. You're gonna die, buddy. Get your affairs in order, because you're gonna be plucked and feathered, and we're gonna kill you so many ways. You've never seen a bird butchered as hard as you're gonna be. You're gonna be sorry you ever stepped into our ground, bitch.
I don't think this is a role. Let Slipstream add in.
Does Casey have anything to add?
Oh.
Okay. So how close is the screen?
You can get as close as you want.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go. Okay, that was a little far, but bye. And I'm just gonna punch the screen.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I'm not gonna let him have the last word in. So.
It's gonna.
Yeah. So a lot of things kind of happen. We can, because we're close to time. We're gonna montage it a bit. Let you all have a moment at this montage to just frame whatever you want you're all doing. Because what's gonna happen is kind of like the quarters side of where the palace is will kind of break open, and there's gonna be a bunch of people coming out. But yeah, let's start with you, Slipstream. What are you're on a skiff. You're not yet at the Queen of
This is Slipstream like shoving his way into the driver's seat and just like getting really, really hyped and joyriding the skiff. For better or worse.
Okay. I think you're headed towards the Queen elect.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. The weird thing is there's no resistance. That's the weirdest thing. It's and like the general mentioned, it's almost like this was all set up just so the queen can talk to her daughter, so to speak. So when you get to the queen elect, again, it's empty. It's running on autopilot, on electronic voices. When the heroes kind of start landing there, and one of them, let's name another hero. No, the molten magma, molten fist, or no, molten. Yeah, he kind of sees you all land, and he looks at you, Slipstream, kind of like, are you a pilot? Magma blast, yeah, magma blast.
I'm like, I don't know. I guess so.
Well, why don't you help out and try and get this thing out of here? Sorry, what's your name, kid?
You call me Slipstream. I'm just gonna kind of whisper to Regicide, how does this thing work?
You have to control it both with your mind and your hands. You have to stop thinking distracting thoughts, like how nervous you are and how much you want to impress Magna Blast. Don't think about that.
Okay, one, I didn't understand any of that, and two, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not trying to impress Magma Blast.
Slipstream? Yeah, so I think I'll ask for like a specific epilogue for you, because I want to know what you're doing while you're not here for the next session. Turn, what are you doing here in this ship now? You got the Queen Elect, you're heading off to Prospect City. How are you feeling? What are you doing with all these other heroes?
I think I'm just sitting off in a corner, and I'm just clenching my fists, and I got like magic smoke swirling around me, and like my eyes like, are kind of glowing the way they do that when I use my power, and I'm just super angry. I'm just thinking about Freak and how he saved my friends even though he didn't know me, and how they want to execute him for some greater good, and how that's bullshit. And I'm just like setting up my moment of truth that I hope to conquer next session, which is making the hard calls. I want to kill some birds. I'm gonna cross that line. I'm gonna go full dark magic on this thing for the last one.
Well, thanks for flagging that for me then. Last but not least, Regicide. As the Queen Elect is leaving the atmosphere of Vyortovia, how are you feeling?
I sigh, realizing that, considering what she said to me, you did all this just to ask me questions, and then finding out that she set up this entire thing just to have a talk. I just say, all this knowledge, and that she cannot figure a damn email.
Oh well, oh, both of you are kind of extra anyway. Okay, so I think that's it for this session. I do kind of, I think, yeah, I do want to ask, like, we know, I think we kind of know where we're headed. Next session, we're welcoming back Robert, Loki. We're bringing in Tomes as well. So another new hero to introduce, but this is the last we'll see of Andy for this series. What does Slipstream do? As I guess war is going to be declared on the Crown Abundant.
Yeah, like at this point, things are incredibly chaotic. So, like Slipstream's going to be going back to some of the resistance work, because somebody is going to have to start organizing things and figure out what what the strategies are, like how we're going to approach taking care of the occupiers in the cities. So Slipstream has a lot of work to do.
Fab. Let's do end of session on broadcast. And I'm saying this now. You can do it as well, Slipstream, because I've mentioned before, all the stuff I'm running is set in the same city. So if we ever play again when we're playing Masks, you can bring Slipstream back. Apparently we're seeing Regicide back as next month. I keep saying she's going to school because next month is the superhero school playset, Phoenix Academy. So, and spoiler alert, so is Freak. So this is not about whether you say, well, we'll see. Let's see. Well, no, I'm not going to take that away from Alan. But let's do end of session. All right. So at the end of every session, each of you is going to choose one. Grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team. Let's start with Slipstream.
So Slipstream is going to grow into his own image of himself. I think I'm going to shift mundane down and danger up.
All right. How do you see yourself?
So I kind of see myself as a lot more reckless and somebody who actually stands out and sticks their neck out, even when it's a really bad idea. And this whole like prison break kind of.
Yeah, it's given him a lot of confidence, probably. Regicide, which one?
I think considering that she pretty much returned home in triumph, and only because of the help of the team, she's going to grow closer to the team. Also, this was the first time that she was actually in command, and this makes her feel super competent.
That's really cool. All right, so grow closer to the team. So explain who made you feel welcome, though.
I'm tempted to say Slipstream to have him have influence on one of us. But on the other hand, I would get closer with Turn. So I guess I'm gonna give it to Turn.
All right, so Turn already has influence over you, yes? Yes.
Yeah.
So you get to shift. Regicide's labels.
What?
You get to shift her labels.
I get to shift labels because of that?
Yes, because if you get influence again over a person you already have influence over, you get to shift her labels.
Oh, all right. It's always one up, one down, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go more danger and less savior.
Ooh, oh, look at those rows of zeros. I mean, I guess we're gonna be in a fighting mood next session. All right, one more thing. So clear condition or mark potential, Regicide.
Potential, because I don't have conditions.
Oh yeah, you cleared insecure. All right. Finally, Turn. Which one?
I'm growing into myself. I think I'm starting to see that it's time to stop playing around. I gotta really tap into this power and use it because people are in real danger, and I need to step it up because the heroes aren't doing enough.
All right. So shift your labels then.
I'm gonna go freakier and less mundane.
All right. Yeah, I mean, if your abilities to manipulate the environment, you want to get freak, you can get your freak on. No, that's not how that works. No, it's a different thing altogether. No. This series is PG-13. We're not going to go there. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to stop the broadcast. Thanks very much for everybody. Thanks for Andy for popping in. That was fun. Yeah, stop broadcast. Say goodbye to YouTube. Bye, YouTube.